Hello and welcome back to my podcast. My name is Lucy Superfox and this is the way that I see it. So today, unfortunately, I have lost the connection for my mic. I've probably left it in a venue somewhere, one of my USB-C connectors. If you've got a Mac, you will feel my pain that not everything is Mac already connected. But I wanted to jump on anyway and do this because I wanted to talk about what it really means to be prepared for your week ahead and what it really means to be productive in business. I think that there is very much a lot of noise. There's a lot of journal templates. There's a lot of stuff on the gram. And actually, what it really takes is not what a lot of people are doing. And that's not a criticism. It's just a lack of knowledge and information, right? And so if I can give you that information, if I can give you that insight, then why would I not do that? So the first thing I think to get really, really clear is that there is a difference between maintaining and sustaining your existing business and building your future business. Now, the dream is that you have what we call an evergreen business, so that whatever you create is a business model that relatively sustains itself over time, so that if your dream is to have more time flexibility or freedom, that over a period of time plus effort, you would then be able to reduce or pull back the time, but then be gaining or sustaining the same level of income, right? But I'm going to be honest, in most businesses, that takes between 3 to 5 years to even get to the point where your business is attracting clients without you having to proactively do the work. Now, there's a lot of coaches out there that will tell you different. And I haven't had that personal experience. I can tell you that very much your business will become like a steamroller and a snowball rolling down a hill if you do that initial work. So I'm not going to hold a time period on it. But what I always say to people who are early in the entrepreneurial journey is it will take longer than you think, and it will take more than you think. And so if you're prepared to do whatever it takes and prepared to go all out for as long as it takes, honestly, you'll get the results way quicker than you think. It is the lack of consistency. It's the lack of drive. It's the lack of passion from the in and the out, and the lack of the consistent focus on both your existing business and your future business that actually slows down those results. So the first thing is, let's look at your existing business. So what does that actually mean? It means anybody that is currently a client of yours, currently in your business, currently in your team, whatever it is you do for work, that you have to maintain a relationship with, likely deliver a service for, and add value for. So those kind of activities involve things like client check-ins, sending them a message to see how they are, booking in a call, having the call, posting in a client group, sharing additional content, creating additional content specifically for clients, could be filming workouts, could be new modules, could be materials, could even be client-focused newsletters, right? So anything that is servicing your existing client base in any way will not generate your future business. Fact. The only way it could lead to future business is your client satisfaction rate is so high that they are recommending you at a rapid rate. What then happens is people who are in the same and the right life stage are ready to make a buying decision and say, okay, yep, I'm going to go with this person because Sarah recommended them. So what you have to remember is delivering that service is fundamental to keeping clients happy and reducing client turnover, especially if you're in a business where people can have repeat purchases, or they can keep coming back, or they can stay for a period of time, right? Depending on what it is you do. You want people to be recommending and referring. That's an ideal business scenario. So that is one thing. You have to still do all that stuff, right? If you stop showing up to client calls, you're late to calls, you reschedule everything, you don't reply to emails, you don't reply to check, right? Your existing business is going to go down the toilet. So please do not think that I am diminishing the value or importance of sustaining and maintaining your existing business, and also the volume of work that can often take. The same volume of work happens whether you've got 5 clients or 50 sometimes, and that can feel like that's a full-time job. But here's the thing, the clients and the business you have today is based on the work you did 3 to 6 months ago. And the clients and the business you want 3 to 6 months from now is based on the work that you do today. So if you are not doing work today to build your network, to grow your social media following, to connect with new followers, to add value to new followers, to build your brand, build your name, to give yourself a bigger brand recognition, to give yourself more credibility, to, all those things, if you're not doing stuff every single day for those things to be a reality, you have no future business other than relying on those referrals and testimonials. Now, if you are a phenomenal person, you're a 1%er, you're exceptional in what you do, you will absolutely get referrals and recommendations. The challenge is they might not be at the rate that you are looking for. That can often feel like you're not winning and not succeeding. But here's the thing. Imagine if you did all that client service delivery to get those referrals and recommendations at the same time as doing all the work you needed to do to create your business 3 to 6 months from now. Imagine if you actually did both of those things at the same time. Imagine if you actually got so organized and blocked your diary that not only could you do all those things, but you could also have downtime, rest time, get good sleep, get your workouts in, eat well. You could do all of those things, because I honestly believe every single person can. I believe time is a construct, is a figment of imagination. It is all about prioritization, how we block our time, and the focused, intentional energy we bring to each task. So the first step in this call, which I just really want you to understand, right, is that there is a difference between maintaining and servicing your existing business and building and creating your new business. They are different things, different skill sets, different mindsets, different activities, different focus. So what you cannot say is I'm working. What you need to say is I'm delivering and then I'm building, right? Working makes you sell yourself, you justify having time off. Working makes you justify spending. Working makes you justify not doing the future stuff because you're doing the existing stuff. So 2 words, you just changing your language there. I'm delivering and I'm building. And you need to be delivering and building on a consistent basis if you want a healthy, sustainable, growing business, no matter what industry or field that you are in. So when you get to that, you're like, okay, amazing, Luce, right, I get that. Now what do I need to do? So number 1, you've obviously got to block out or map out in your diary and within any kind of to-do list or any kind of structure that you already use where service delivery is actually already happening. So number 1, you've got to get really clear on when service delivery is actually happening. Now, the second thing, and I've addressed this in many lives and videos in the past, and follow me for a while, is you must then understand what are the key things that you must do every single day to grow your business, right? So within that building phase, so not just in the service delivery, so service delivery, block that, we've mapped that. So then within the building part of your business, what for you are the 3 personal tasks that are going to deliver you the biggest bang for your buck? So the biggest result for not so much the least effort, but what if you did those 3 things would make a fundamental difference rather than you doing 20 things? So if you had to pick 3 out of 20 things, what would those 3 things be? And then you need to block those into your diary. Now, don't kid yourself. Don't say it's the easiest things or the things you like doing the most. Although, what I will say on that is if you love doing something, generally it means you're very good at it. And if you're very good at it, generally means you've got a good energy behind it, which then leads to a good result. So all I'm saying is be really honest with yourself. Are those 3 things the 3 things that are going to deliver you results? I believe if you're in a building phase, your 3 things should be networking, connecting, and then basically either producing content or putting yourself out there. So they should be networking, connecting, and putting yourself out there in 3 ways so that people know your name, they know what you do, they know what you stand for, they know what you're about, and they know how to get hold of you. And so those 3 things, you need to then map those into your diary. Now, a lot of people might have multiple things going on, maybe multiple business opportunities, maybe a full-time job, maybe children, and I can totally get it. Like I have seen so many mummies and people come to me through my coaching and through my network marketing business who are literally juggling 100 plates. But here's the thing, if you can only do a little bit of those 3 things, it is better to do 5 minutes on each of those 3 things than to do one thing for 15 minutes, right? And I truly believe that when it comes to building, not so much service delivery, but to building, because you need to start creating momentum. Now, creating momentum in scaling your business comes from having new people to talk to. If you aren't doing the connecting and networking, you can make all the freaking content you want, babes, but no one's going to bloody see it, right? Or if you make all these connections and you do all this networking, but then you don't actually put anything out on social media, people don't even know that you exist, or you don't follow up that networking with the connections, no one knows how to get hold of you. And this is why it's really important that you must do a little bit of everything. It will take longer than if you have more time to do more. Of course it will, right? Duh. But at the same time, you want to make sure that you're doing all the little steps rather than just picking one step and going, oh, that'll do, I'll hope for the best. Because naturally, right, we all have a skill set or a tendency to something that we all want to do that's easier for us. And the challenge is when we do the thing that's easier for us, that's brilliant and it might still deliver results, but there's no guarantee. Or what we're doing is we're not, what they call in sales terms, closing the loop, right? So maybe we're making that connection. Someone's like, oh, yeah, you're great, you're wicked, love you. But then we don't do that follow-up connection and we don't post on social media, so they forget about us. And so when you're looking at building your future business, you've got to look at making sure you're doing everything. And I know it feels overwhelming and a lot, that if you've only got 30 minutes a day to focus on the building phase of your business, that 30 minutes is way better spent than you watching Netflix, scrolling Instagram, scrolling Facebook, sitting in front of the TV. And if you're not doing any of those things, if you are literally flat out, then I want to ask you, actually, are you in a stage right now where your business then, if it's that busy and that thriving, do you need to be in a building phase right now? Now, I'd argue you always need to be in a building phase, and you'd be better off sacrificing 30 minutes somewhere in there to make that building phase. But ask yourself, is this a time in your life right now that actually is the right time to scale and grow? And maybe it's not. Maybe right now is a time to maintain and sustain and be doing 10 minutes a day covering those things. A quick few stories, a post, make a few new friends online, and then make sure that you do one thing a month where you go meet some new people, right? So you've got to ask yourself, this is for you to determine, right? But here's the thing, if your business is thriving and booming, it's thriving and booming because of the work you did in the past, not from the work that you did today. And that is where the human illusion lies. So what you must get really honest with yourself about is that if you want to build or you want to create a future business, you must prepare yourself. Your weeks must look organized. You must strategically block the time that you are going to work on things. Or at least if you have time freedom like I do, right? I don't need to be as anal about blocking things now because I literally do what I want when I want. And so what I tend to do is I tend to actually just think, what do I need to get done today? So I'll map things out in the day that they need to happen. If something is urgent, I'll put it into my physical diary at a certain time, right? And what you've got to ask yourself, the less time you have, the more disciplined you've got to become. And actually, it's a dangerous in us when you've got too much time freedom because your discipline goes out the window. And it's very easy to procrastinate and put things off. So if actually you're someone who's got a lot of time and things aren't happening, then maybe you need to make yourself very, very, very busy. Because I truly believe that I'm way more productive and there's way more on my plate. Don't know if you can resonate with that and agree. So what I want you to think about is this, right? What am I doing to service my existing business? What am I doing to build my future business? And how in turn, every single week, am I prepping myself and organizing myself to make sure that I do both to the best of my ability and do the things I love or have time for me? You might be in a phase in business where right now you aren't going to be partying, celebrating, going out because you are focused on the hustle. You're focused on getting to an income goal, a client level goal, whatever it might be. And actually that's great, but you still need to have time for you somewhere in there. And that time for you includes your personal development and your general well-being. So what I want to ask you is this: do you organize your weeks in that level of detail? And if the answer is no, honey, I promise you 20 minutes on a Sunday, a Saturday, a Friday, however you want to do it, will transform your business and transform your life. Not only will it give you more structure, more organization, it will also give you freedom in your mind. If you're a self-employed business owner, you will think about your business, you will think about money, you will think about these things all the goddamn time. But if you actually strategically block the time you're going to work on it, get yourself into a good focused energy, and we'll talk about that on the next podcast. When you do the things that you need to do, I absolutely 1,000,000% guarantee you will then not feel guilty when you take that time for you and take time off. And that is a big thing for any budding entrepreneur, is that self-guilt that you feel that you need to work all the time. You need to work more than you think, and it's going to take more than you think, but it doesn't mean you have to burn yourself into the ground to build success. I don't believe that. I've made that mistake myself, and looking back, actually, I didn't need to do what I did. What I needed to do was take more time for me and trust. Or put more activity in, do more work in the building phase that I then didn't need to be scrambling at the very last minute to achieve my goals in all different areas of my life, right? It even applies to a body goal, actually. So I really want you to think about that. What are you doing to sustain and maintain? What are you doing to build? And how are you organizing yourself and your week to make sure that both of those pieces happen, whatever else needs to happen in your life, mummy duty and whatever else it might be, and you also make time for yourself. By being strategic and organized with your time, I absolutely guarantee you, you will build a next level life if you sustain it, maintain it, build it and grow it consistently over the long term. And that's the missing piece. You must be consistent over the long term. So that is it from this podcast. If there's ever a topic you want me to talk about, please feel free to slide into my DMs, drop a comment on my YouTube, Spotify, or wherever else you're listening to this. And I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. That was The Way That I See It. My name is Lucy Superfox. Make sure to connect with me on social media, and I'll speak to you all soon.